Good Tuesday evening. Welcome to BCP Live. Hi, I'm Joey McWilliams. Glad to get to visit with you on this Tuesday night. Here we are in Bryan County, and there is a lot going on this summer. By the way, I wanted to throw out really quickly, where's the summer gone? It's day 201 of 2021. And if you were just waiting for 2020 to be over, guess what? It's been another year, but we're more than halfway through this year. So I hope you are enjoying life and enjoying everything in Bryan County right now. The sports is happening. You know, I broadcast sports, and I'll throw this out just really quickly here in this edition. That, by the way, of course, is the drinking game here. We drink water because, hey, that's the drink of choice. Hi, Dottie. Glad to see you tonight. Hello there. And you're not late. Actually, I'm a little bit late. It's a 9:05 start tonight, but it is day 201 of 2021, and I appreciate the orange and black hearts, Dottie. Those are so cool. Go Pokes. Should be a good football season this year for Oklahoma State. Oklahoma, if you haven't already seen through some of the publications, the Sooners are picked as the top team in the country. The top team in the country. They have probably the best quarterback in the country. They have one of the best quarterbacks in the country that has decided he wants to sign or be a part of the Sooners program as a backup. And 2 years from now, I think the number 2 quarterback in the 2023 class is also wanting to go to Oklahoma too. So if you thought that the pipeline was ever going to shut down for quarterbacks making it to the University of Oklahoma to play with the Sooners football, it's not happening anytime soon. However, I will talk about the Cowboys football as much as I can as well, because I am an alum and Go Pokes, and hey, why not? Alumni, there we go. I like the way that looks there. Alumni. So anyway, a couple things to talk about today, and I won't take up too much of your time this evening. I enjoy getting to visit you when we have this opportunity. A couple of things to talk about. Number one, I had the opportunity to go to the Choctaw Cultural Center today, and media was invited out. The Choctaws invited the elders out yesterday, and they got to see the Cultural Center and the all the things that are going on there. The media got a chance to see it today. Should have a story up tomorrow on that and getting to visit with you all about what went on there. I have to tell you, that place is phenomenal. It is absolutely a very, very good place to visit. And I want to strongly, before I say anything else about it, I want to strongly encourage everyone in Bryan County, everyone in Texoma, everyone within the 10.5 counties and the 12 districts of the Choctaw Nation, everyone should stop by and visit the Cultural Center. I want to give it my stamp of approval, as if they needed that, but definitely, you need to see this. Hi, Daryl. Glad you're here this evening. Seriously, I don't know really even where to start. The Cultural Center is very inviting. It is, as you might expect, it's a very classy place, and it has something for everyone there. It's a family-oriented place. You need to stop by and see it. Place for the kids, a great place for them to go and play, to get to see things on the inside. Very informative. I thought it was very educational. I learned a lot in the short time I was there. I was there for close to 2 hours today. The time just went by so quickly, kind of like this summer's gone by. It went by so quickly. Could have stayed another 6 hours. Really, and even that was trying to get through at a pace to get to see as much as was out there. And so if you're just tuning in, I encourage you, stop by the Choctaw Cultural Center. It was fantastic. Let me see. This is from their Facebook page. This is a picture of a sunset. As the sun is going down, you can see it there. That is looking to the west, and a representation honoring the Mother Mound there to the west of the facility. My goodness, I cannot even stress just how cool it is. Dottie, is it suitable for 4-year-olds? Absolutely, it is suitable for 4-year-olds. I would take my granddaughter. My oldest grandchild will be 4 years old in a little more than 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. I would happily take her there. There was something for her to do. There was a place for kids to go and play, kind of a little play place in there. But even walking around and seeing the different displays that were there, I don't think the 4-year-olds would be bored at all getting to see the different things. Now, there are a couple places in there. It talks about the Trail of Tears, that talks about relocation from one place to another. And I get that's not something 4-year-olds really want to talk about that much. They don't have to go to there. There are some places where there are video presentations. And okay, so don't take your 4-year-old to that. I didn't think it was even that bad at all. It's just a little sad. It was very real. It was very heartfelt. It was something that made you think about, okay, this is where we are. And I would always say, I believe that we live in the best country in the world. I believe that, and I will never say anything different. We live in the best country in the world, hands down. And I don't think that there are as many things that are wrong with this country as, and I'll go ahead and take that graphic off while I'm talking so you can go ahead and see me and get that. There are not as many things wrong with our country as what are being portrayed to us on a regular basis by the national media. I would also say, and have always said, we're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. This country isn't perfect. Have there been leaders in this country that were not perfect? Absolutely. Andrew Jackson was one of those leaders, without question. Woodrow Wilson, one of those leaders, not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. We've had leadership that was not perfect by any stretch. But I think that we still live in a great country. But there were things there that described this is how the Choctaw Nation got from this place to this place. And it was moving. It was emotional. And I thought it was just a fantastic display. Yes, Dottie, let me go ahead and say this one more time. I would take the 4-year-old. I will happily take my granddaughter to get to see this and get to be there. One of the things also, too, by the way, if you're just tuning in, we were talking about the Choctaw Cultural Center and that it's a nice place to visit. Media got to visit that today. There's a cafe. My goodness, the food is fantastic. Absolutely great. We got to meet Chef Amy today, and she got to tell us about what she's doing and the menu that she has. So that was really pretty cool. But again, the displays, everything that was there was it was worth the time. There is a cost of admission to get in. I believe the adult cost of admission, was $12. So younger than 12-year-olds, I think there was a discount there. And so anyway, you may want to check that out. But that is the cost of admission to get in. So, it's one of those things that is well worth our time. And for those of us who live in Bryan County, it's not that far of a drive. It's, for if you're watching us tonight or you're watching this, the replay and you're saying, hey, listen, I live in within the bounds, within the districts of the Choctaw Nation, I'd like to go. Okay, it might be a little bit farther of a drive for you than if you live right here in Bryan County. But is it worth it? Again, I would say absolutely. So just wanted to throw that one out there for you. Here we are in the summer. Welcome to BCP Live, day 201 of 2021. And I'm trying to figure, the question I have then is, where's the summer gone? Am I the only one that is watching this just zip on past? And I don't know if it's, I think there's an old joke in there somewhere. And I realize, and I've always said this, as I get older, time seems to go by more quickly. I don't know if you've experienced this or not, but I've experienced this. And I truly believe that it is because every second that passes, every minute that passes, every year that passes is a smaller percentage of my life than it was at one point in time. A year right now, a year for me at 50 is 2% of my life. A year for me when I was 10 years old is 10% of my life. So I think that's a part of it as to when it goes by so quickly. But I would also imagine that having kids now, and we have 3 that are in high school, 3 in high school now. And yes, Brandy Green, I've actually completed my application, the kids' enrollment forms. So I've got that there. I would pause here for just a moment. I would pause here for just a moment to say, I had to have ID to enroll my kids in school. I want to let that sink in. for just a moment. That's all I'm going to say. I had to have ID to let my kids enroll in school. Daryl says, try to slow time down before Brady leaves, but it's not working. Totally get it, Daryl. And I'm happy for you that he is going to do so well. I'm sad for you also that he's going off. But Tennessee's not that far away. And it's like I said last week, by the way, at least he's on the western side of the state. Could be on the eastern side like Knoxville. So there is that. Speaking of kids in band, and band camp for the Pride of Durant starts next week. So we're going to have 3 in band camp. And don't think for a moment that parents don't have a part to play in that, because I've got to take 3 kids to school. Thing starts at 7:30 in the morning. So I've got to have kids up and around. Not that I didn't get up that early anyway, but I've got to have kids up and around and out the door and earlier than 7:30. It's one of those things too. If you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. If you're late, you're fired. So don't be late. But band camp is coming up. Let me mention some sponsors here really quickly for the Bryan County Patriot. I want to throw this out there. And among our sponsors, by the way, Bryan Agri Products, as well as Triple T Estates, Express Employment Professionals. They do a great job. Lots more people getting jobs right now. I know. And I think that's something really cool. I was really proud, by the way, of daughter number 3 of Jayla Quinn. She's had a summer job, and she's done fantastic at that. So I think that's really cool. She has done really, really well. Firehouse Subs. Hey, Quentin. Hope you guys are doing well out there. Hausner's, Price's Printing, along with Taco Casa, Van Meter Realty, Texoma Utility Equipment, Texoma Financial Services, People First, the Mickle Law Firm, Jalapenos. Got some good jalapenos food tonight. Thank you, Chewy, and all the folks out there. Indian Nation Wholesale, Greg Phillips Insurance, Durant Station, Choctaw Nation, Blake Utter Ford, as well as Abundant Life Texoma. Hey, Kim Penna Morris, how are you? Nice to see you tonight. Hot temps are coming up. Dottie reminds everyone here. Let me go ahead and put that up there. The hot temperatures, they're coming up. And this is a reminder, it's summer, so make them drink water. If you are going to band camp, obviously, you need to drink some water. That reminds me. It made me thirsty just thinking about it. I have had people ask before, and again, it is water, and I ask you to trust me. I think I'm trustworthy. But what I have in here, and I should have a clear drinking glass. If I was going to have this up here, I need to have something clear so you can see. I just want you to get to see this every time. That's the thing. Not trying to hide anything. If anything, it would be Dr. Pepper. Just saying. And I found Dr. Pepper Zero now. Coke Zero has been around for a long time. Pepsi Zero has been around for a long time. Dr. Pepper Zero is new. It is relatively new, but it is new. And if you're a Dr. Pepper fan and you want the sugar-free stuff and you don't want to go, I'm not a diet drink fan. But I'll take the zero sugar stuff. And if you want something, you're saying, oh, is Dr. Pepper Zero worth it? Absolutely. It is absolutely worth it. I'm putting the BCP stamp of approval on all kinds of things tonight. So that definitely is the case. So anyway, all right, there we go. Got the sponsors. Okay, here we go. I want to give a shout out really quickly to somebody else. Katie Quinn. I want to give a shout out to Katie Quinn tonight. Now, she may or may not be watching tonight. She may watch this at another time. She may not see it at all. But she is serving in her final week with the Durant Chamber of Commerce. And I just wanted to give a shout out to her. She was on the show recently and did a fantastic job. And in most of the time in recent years that I've been dealing with the Durant Area Chamber of Commerce, Katie has been there, and she does great work. She's done a fantastic job. I think that she has represented Durant well. I think that she has represented Bryan County well. I think that she's represented the Chamber of Commerce well. And I wanted to just give a shout out to her because she is moving on along to different employment, actually going to be working with First Texoma National Bank. And I know that they are getting a fantastic employee, a great person in Katie when she comes over But in all the times I've been working, and I talk about the stuff with the chamber. Of course, I work closely with the chamber. I want to try to get out good things in Bryan County. You all know that. That's always been part of the mission statement of the Bryan County Patriot, is talking about the positive news right here in Bryan County. And the Chamber of Commerce does a great job with that. Katie has done a great job with that. So I personally, from Mrs. Patriot as well, she was mentioning that too. Katie's been there as long as she's been going around. We appreciate you, Katie. You've done a great job. You have a great family. You and your husband, your son are great people. And so I know that you're not leaving, but you're going to be in a different place, and we're not going to see you with maybe the same frequency. I don't know exactly what your job's going to entail there, working with First Texoma National, but we may not see you as much as we have. So shout out to you. Good job. Great work. Thank you very much for what you've sown into Bryan County and what you've sown into Durant as well. So, all right, there is my shout out tonight for Katie Quinn. I think, did I miss anything? Dottie, if you're still watching, just want to ask, did I miss anything tonight? Those were the main things I wanted to get across. Actually did have a guest who was unable to get to come on with me tonight, and I know that she's going to get to come on in maybe a month or two. And so it's one of those, if you've ever wondered why I don't post the shows until sometimes a little bit later on in the day, is because I don't want to say, hey, we're going to have this guest, and then the guest not be able to come on for whatever reason. And so I don't want to, I don't want to embarrass the guest. He or she said she was going to come on, and then he or she wasn't there, and things happen. And so since we're not locked into any national promotions just yet, maybe someday. But since we're not there right now, that's part of the reason I don't say a whole lot about that. And sometimes I'll wait until later on to post that we're going to have a show. So if you ever wondered about that, that's why. And so our guest was not able to be here tonight. She will be able to be with us a little bit later on. Dottie, I covered it all. That makes me happy. Breakfast tomorrow morning. That's right. Coffee Network tomorrow morning. And we are having the Coffee Network. If you're part of the Chamber of Commerce, or if your business is a part of the Chamber of Commerce, then you need to stop by the Chamber Coffee Network meetings on Wednesday mornings. This week, or this month, it's taking place at Entourage Ministries. That's 11. I believe it's 1104. It's West Alabama Street. So it is on Alabama. If you're driving down 9th Street, you're headed south, like you're headed toward the Choctaw headquarters. We've been talking about the Choctaw Cultural Center. So you're heading south on 9th, and you turn over on Arkansas Street. It's just a couple of blocks over there. Entourage Ministries, and that's where we're having the Coffee Chamber Network. All I'm saying is, if your business is in the Chamber of Commerce anyway, you need to stop by. It's a great way to get to make new friends and meet new people. So there you go. All right. Dottie says I've covered it all, so I have covered it all. We have band camp coming up. The school year is right around the corner, and sports, folks, I cannot even stress enough. God is really opening up some cool doors for me on the sports side of things. And I always try to always talk about what's happening here in Bryan County. I would just say it is really cool, the doors that God is opening up for my business, and I believe for even ministry in the realm of sports that is coming up. And I may take the time sometime soon, maybe as it gets to be a little bit closer, late August or September, I'll share with you all a little bit more about some of the cool things that are happening on the sports side of Emerald Quest and what all is going on there. But in the meantime, I just want to say, man, I am so stoked about the fact that I believe we're going to have sports this year. And I know you can look out there, and I know national media is trying to really scare us off these things again. And there are folks who who really actually want, who want to be locked in again, who want to be those things again. I'm again it. I'm totally against it. And so I'm excited about sports in the future. Yeah, Daryl, my goodness, we got to come out because you have to help us for these sports that we're watching on TV or going to the games too. So you need to stop by Pro Image. Jamie, go Sooners. Oh, that's okay. You can. I cheer for the Sooners too. I do. I cheer for the Sooners too. I just don't have a Sooners mug. That's all. Anyway, Jamie, by the way, Jamie, it is good to see you too. I have missed seeing your name come up over in the comments section. Thank you very much. And you're exactly right. Some of those folks are the same ones who don't want to go back to work. Hey, listen, jobs are being filled in Bryan County. They really are. There are a lot of jobs that are being filled in Bryan County, but there are more to be filled. So this is not the time to stop. We need to keep filling those jobs. And we need to keep encouraging people to get back to work, not only to get back to work, but to get back to work and to do a good job where you are. You know, there's something to that. Go Irish. All right, whatever. There is something to that. Can I stop for a moment? Really? I mean, it's, you know, if you were watching me anyway, go ahead and keep watching. I'm not going anywhere right now. There is something to doing your job well. And there are a couple different things to this. You not only become a better person when you work hard, and when you do your job well. I mean, seriously, you literally become a better person. But there is something to sowing into the work that you do, sowing into the company for which you work, sowing into the people for which you work, and sowing into the people whose business you are helping. There is something to that. You literally are sowing into this stuff. And I've read a book that's very clear about what happens when you sow. It says we're not supposed to be deceived about these things. Whatever a man sows, that's what he's going to reap. You sow hard work into a company, you're going to find a way to be promoted. You might start out at minimum wage, whatever minimum wage is in your business, wherever you are in life, the business, wherever you choose to be, or whatever doors open up and you feel the need to go through that door. I'm walking through this door. I work at a restaurant. I work at a clothing store. I work at a department store, whatever it is. You may start off at minimum wage. You might start off at this package, but I'm telling you the truth. Whatever you sow, that's what you're going to reap. And you sow hard work, it will not be lost. It will not go away. It may not happen overnight. And there's some things I have been looking for I would say weeks and months. We are so far into years now on some of the things that I'm looking to see to cross this hill to get to the other side. I know there's another side. I see that there's light on the other side. I believe, I don't even know if the grass is greener on the other side. I'm just telling you there's another side. There's a place for me to get to. There's something that I'm pushing toward. It's been years that I have been pushing toward these things, but I believe to get there, it doesn't always happen overnight. But I tell you, people see the hard work that you do. People know the hard work that you do. Your employer, the people for whom you serve. How big is that sometimes? When you do something and you work hard and you do it just to do it right, just to serve somebody well, you make whatever it is you do and you make it well because you want to sow something good into somebody. I read a book and it told me we're not to be deceived. Whatever a man sows, that's what he's going to reap. So you sow that hard work. And then the next day, you keep sowing that hard work. And then the next day and the next week, you keep sowing that hard work. You take a vacation when the time to take a vacation comes around, and you come back and you sow hard work again. And you do well. And you take the advancement that you get, but you keep sowing hard work. You keep pushing yourself. You keep being honorable in what you do. You keep your desk clean. You keep picking up trash around the building. You do the little things that maybe somebody else doesn't do. And you keep sowing that hard work, and you keep sowing that hard work. And when it's time to work, you're there. You know why? Because that's who you are. Sometimes it's easy to take off. Doesn't matter. When it's time to work, you're there. There will come a time when you reap a harvest. It's going to happen. It's just the way it is. Sowing and reaping. Some people call it karma. I think that takes away from it a little bit, but there are names for all these things. For me, that name is, and again, it's because I read that book. But for me, it's about sowing and reaping. And I found something too, and I was looking at something. By the way, I'll wrap this around. Man, we're closing in on half an hour. I didn't know I'd go half an hour tonight. That's all right. You gave me an opportunity to share. Thank you very much for listening. Daryl says, good things to come to those who wait. Better things come to those who take action. You're right. Right on both counts. When at the Choctaw Cultural Center today, let me go back and say I've given it the BCP stamp of approval, just in case you want to know. If you weren't watching earlier and you're watching right now, had a chance to visit the Choctaw Cultural Center. It opens to the public on Friday. You need to go, and you need to take your family, and you need to go prepared to spend some time. Don't go for just 2 hours. I was there for 2 hours today. It was not enough time. Go planning on spending the morning or the afternoon or morning and afternoon, whatever. They have food there. You can eat lunch there or whatever the case may be. One of the displays showed some corn, and we've got some corn on our property here that's I'm telling you, it's about that tall. And the corn on display there, and it's a display, and it is so amazingly tall, and you think, this isn't even real. It is real. There's corn, and depending upon the type of corn that's out there and the richness of the soil, it can grow to be that high. And I remember I grew up in Ardmore. We had a garden in our backyard every year. Okay, it was one of those things, lots of kids in my neighborhood, in the housing addition in which I lived on the east side of town, this place called Town and Country. And we were right there on the city limits line. But we had a garden in the backyard. And Dad, he would till that thing every spring. He would plant every spring. We'd go out there, and I've harvested from our garden. I'm not saying I've been out on the farm and had 40 acres of corn. Didn't happen. Okay. But I know enough about the gardens, and I've had a garden or two, and I found something out, and I think this is important, and it's what I'll wrap up with tonight. Yeah, Sarah, you need to check it out. It is really worth it. When Dad wanted corn, now watch this. When Dad wanted corn, he would plant corn. I know. It's where he would want tomatoes, and we had these tomato cages. Dad had lots and lots of tomato cages because he planted tomatoes. We had tomatoes. My mom would, if you've ever, raise your hand if you've ever had fried green tomatoes. If you've lived in southeastern or southern Oklahoma all your life, and you're at least somewhere close to my age, and you haven't had fried green tomatoes, where have you been living? But we had tomatoes. Dad had tomato cages, and all the places that he was setting up to put his tomato cages, he would plant little tomato plants. He'd go and he'd buy these little tomato plants. He'd plant them. If he wanted tomatoes, he'd sow tomatoes. If he wanted corn, he'd sow corn. If he wanted potatoes, he'd sow potatoes. Okay? If he wanted watermelon, he'd sow watermelon one year, and the seeds would all be over here, and we'd get volunteer watermelon plants, for years to come. What I'm telling you is this. If you want something, you have to sow what you want. You're not going to get that great job if you sow a lackluster attitude on the little job you have. You're not going to get the great large amount of money if you sow a bad attitude at work, if you sow a halfway job at work, if you don't do your job well and you don't care about your boss and you don't care about the customers that you're serving, maybe your boss isn't that great a person. Doesn't mean a thing as to how you conduct yourself. Your boss may be a jerk. Your boss may be a not very good person. Your boss may not be that smart. You could be smarter than your boss. Some of you are. So what? How did you handle yourself at work today? How are you going to handle yourself at work tomorrow? It's up to you. It's completely up to you. But I want to tell you right now, When Dad wanted corn, he sowed corn. When Dad wanted okra, he sowed okra. The reason I know okra is because, man, it's getting close to that time of year when we'd go out and when we'd pick the okra. Anybody? Now, I thank you, Dottie, for raising your hand on the fried green tomatoes. Anybody ever picked okra? Lived in southeastern Oklahoma and you picked okra? I have, because you go out there with a long sleeve shirt on, because picking okra is not fun. And you go out there and you absolutely sweat it all off with the long sleeve shirt on trying to pick okra and gloves and everything else, because, man, that's not fun to pick. But if you want okra, I'm telling you, the only way to get okra is to sow okra. Some of y'all still are watching. That is so cool. That is so cool. I appreciate you watching tonight. You want that good job. You know, that one with the benefits may not happen overnight. You keep sowing the good. Be a blessing to that boss, whether or not he's a good person, whether or not she's a good person. You be the best that you can be. Work hard. Do your best. Get to work on time. Don't leave early. Give everything you have, and when you're done, go home and rest. Get up, do it the next day. You'll be proud of yourself for what you did. It'll help you be a good person. You're sowing into you as much as anything else. You may be sowing into a business. You may be sowing into the people for whom you're working, but you're also sowing into you. Sarah says, not only the watermelon got more seeds to sow for more watermelon. You're not kidding. Isn't it amazing that you sow one seed and what comes up from that gives you so many more seeds to sow back? You had fresh okra tonight, Jamie? Fresh okra? Did you fry it? I'm really serious. I want to know, because fried okra, that's the way to go with okra. People eat boiled okra, man. No, there we are, Daryl. Fried okra is worth the work. Thank you. Fried okra is definitely worth the work. All right, well. All right, there went my coaster. I guess I have to drink all the water. I think I needed some today. It's been some hot, but there you go, Jamie. Of course you did. Fried okra is worth the work. It's hot. We got a lot of done. Had a nephew in town. I haven't gotten a text back from him yet. Just got the text in. He is back home in Ardmore. Appreciate Asher for all the work he gave me at my house today. Jake got some good work in today. It's good for him. Get out, sweat a little bit, work hard, get ready for band camp. Okay. Shout out to Katie Quinn once again. Katie, thank you very much for all the work that you've done. BCP, stamp of approval for the Choctaw Cultural Center, again, as if they needed it, but I'm giving it. There you go. So you got the BCP stamp of approval. Go out and enjoy that. We should have another guest next week. In the meantime, thank you for letting me sow into you. Be wise. Walk in love. Don't walk in fear. You do those things and you sow good things into the work, into the people around you, you're going to find that the harvest you reap is well worth what you put into it. You really will. It is worth it. I love you guys. I really do. And I want the best for you. Thank you so much for watching BCP Live tonight. Let's do this again next Tuesday night. How about that? All right. In the meantime, thank you all the folks who commented tonight, all the folks for watching. And if you're watching this the next day, my goodness, thank you for taking the time to watch, especially if you're not watching live, you're watching this next day and you made it into this part of the show. You've watched this long. You're really cool. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Love you all. Jamie, all of you guys. You guys have a good night. God bless you. See you later.